What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Razer360 here, and this is my first I guess you can call it a live stream kind of, but I'm doing this live, so bear with me. My first time doing something like this. This is the first episode of Tips and Tricks. I will be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, and I also will be uploading a video, a CCM, or an online ranked game along with these videos, because they're probably going to be fairly short. I want to make this a series, so we're going to do episode by episode, and at the end of each episode, I'm going to go ahead and show you a money play from the playbooks I used. I like using the Cowboys online, so I'm using them, and I like labbing against the 49ers because I feel like if you can do it against the 49ers, you could do it against any team. So this first episode is talking about playbooks and the formation out of set playbooks. So I don't really call mine a scheme. I just pick a couple of formations and run the plays I like to run out of them. So what you want to do is you got to know what you want. Do you want to run the ball? Do you want to pass the ball? If you like running the ball, you want to think of the NFL. What teams like to run the ball? The Seahawks run the ball. The Eagles run the ball. A lot of teams run the ball, so you want to base that off of that. So you want to look at those playbooks. Look at the running formations they have and the run plays they have. A lot of good run formations are like I-form, strong, weak, even full house and pistol, because they have a lot of good blocking, and that's what you want to look at. Power row is good, the halfback toss is good, the draw, the counter. So it's a lot of good run plays out of different formations. So that's what you want to be able to look at. If you like to pass the ball, you got to think of the Patriots, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Saints. A lot of good teams that pass the ball are going to have a lot of good passing formations, and a shotgun and not a single back. So you want to look into that. And then after you choose your playbook, you want to get a set number of plays you like to run out of it, out of different formations. A lot of people, like I said in my previous video, they just run one or two formations and one or two plays out of that. A lot of big YouTubers and commentators on YouTube do that. I don't like doing it personally, just because I like variety. I like to switch it up. I like to be able to confuse my opponent, because if I run split offset and tight all game, they're going to be expecting whatever plays I'm running out of those two formations, unless I'm running like 8 different plays out of those formations. But 9 times out of 10, that's probably not going to happen. So you want to be able to pick a couple of formations. I'm just going to go over single back and gun, because those are the main things. Like I said, I-form, strong and weak are more likely for runs, but you can also pass out of those, because in my Indianapolis scheme, I ran the ball a lot, and once you get your opponent run committing, you can run these play action passes and get wide open post routes and things like that. So just little things like that, that's a scheme. Being able to say, I want to run the ball, pound the ball, and get my opponent run committing, and then run a bunch of play action. That's a scheme. Like I said, I don't run scheme. I just run good plays that beat stuff, and that's what you also want to know. You want to know what beats zone and what beats man. So say I want to run this bunch base, and I'm looking through the plays. Everything looks basic. Seattle, I see an interesting wheel route, so I'm going to hit that play. And I see 2 receiver sets, somebody comes out and 2 receivers, 2 running back, they're probably expecting a run, right? So we're going to go to the big nickel, and we're just going to run robber, cover 1 basically. So what you want to do is you want to look at the play, and you want to run it stock. You want to see what gets open against it. And also use your personnel. If you have really good receivers, pass it to them. If you have a really good running back, run the ball. Not every team has what you want to run your scheme around, so you're not going to try to run the ball with, let's say, the Doodoo Browns. Trent Richardson is a good running back, but he's not that good to be running the scheme all around him. Jamal Charles is a little better, but their O-line isn't the best. So you want to also look at those kind of things. Right there, just a really bad pass lead, and that's another thing you want to focus on. Just try different things. Like if you see one thing isn't working, try it a different way. I saw that the inside pass lead didn't work, so now I'm going to try the outside pass lead, and you see I get that separation to the right side, and now that's a good gain every time. And since that's just a slow fullback, and that's also what you want to look at. So you see that this is a really good play, but since I had Bickers in, which I'm pretty sure is the fullback, and definitely the main thing after you pick your playbook, just go through your depth chart. You know, there's a lot of things you can find out, because Felix Jones wasn't the starter. I actually moved him to the starter. DeMarco Murray is actually the starter, but Felix Jones has one more speed, he has 2 more agility, and he has 1 more acceleration. My thing is speed on offense as far as a halfback, and of course catch it, because I like to streak him out of the backfield and run wheels with him. Now Felix Jones isn't the better catcher, so obviously I'm subbing into Barker Murray if I'm putting him on an actual route. So as far as that, that's what you want to look for. If you're looking for speedy receivers, obviously you want to go ahead and put Kevin Ogletree in the slot, or if you like running the streaks, you want to put him on the outside, or even bring in Danny Cole. But you also have to look at their catching, because most guys that are backup receivers that are fast usually don't have the best catching. As you see here, 78 catching, 81 catching traffic, 55 route running. So he's probably not going to get good separation, even though he's really fast. So maybe you want to put him in the slot and just play around with that. So as far as that, like I said, you definitely want to go ahead and just get in the lab and test things out as Romo overthrows the touchdown to Miles Austin. Because whenever you see one deep safety, and that's another thing you want to be able to do on offense, read the defense. You want to see, okay, this guy's only playing one deep safety, so I'm going to go ahead and streak somebody, and you can burn them for a big gain. So getting back to this playbook thing, just test it out. I've went about through 6 or 7 different playbooks throughout this whole Madden season, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is, because it takes you a while to get used to an entirely new playbook. So just get to know the offense, get to know the playbook, and just whatever you like to do. So this video is pretty much coming to an end. Sorry if I didn't really explain that too well, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my money play. It's this Saints spot shake. It's not very good against man, but I'm going to show you it anyway. So you see a 4 receiver set, more than likely somebody's going to come out in a dime. So we're going to go ahead and go out dime, 2-man under. Now what you want to look for is the wheel routes for Y, and you want to look for the drag with Harrison. So you see Y, he gets the inside position, you want to pass lead that inside. And that's a good gain every time, because the cornerback can't react fast enough to go ahead and play the ball better, and Romo just throws a horrible pass. And sometimes, like I said, you got to look at the depth chart. If Romo doesn't have the best accuracy, you want to go ahead and not throw that play with him, because he's just going to jack it up, and Romo's just making me look bad. But it's a really good play against man coverage, gets the good separation more times than not. Sometimes you have to sit on it, but it is a really good play. I run it a lot. As you see there, he just doesn't get the positioning, so maybe you want to, and that's another thing, you got to look at their opponent's depth charts, because even though Miles Austin is a good receiver, the cornerback may be better. I'm pretty sure that was Private Carlos Rogers or Terrell Brown. So you want to look at your opponent's depth chart. You don't want to just look at what you're working with, but what they're working with. So you want to exploit their weaknesses as well. You see 88 man coverage, 92 man coverage, whereas Miles Austin here only has 91 speed, so he's not really getting any separation through speed. Excuse me. And he's a good route runner, good catching, good catch of traffic, but he's just sometimes not getting that separation. So you don't want to always stare that route down, but like I said, more times than not, you get the separation. And also another play I like to do out of this, I like to put B on the slant, because for some reason he always burns his man. Even though you see the press right there, he always burns his man and he gets the separation. Even though you see it right there, you saw it look like he was really on him and he couldn't do anything about it, but right there he just gets crazy separation, and I always fall down against the irons, because you know it's big hits everywhere. But if you don't feel comfortable throwing that wheel route, I always just hot route B to a slant. He gets pressed sometimes he doesn't. Right there, just block shed from hell, that's the 49ers for you. But just slant him away, he'll get the separation, pass lead that to the left, and that's a good gain all day. Sometimes he'll even get more separation, as you saw before. And like I said, main thing is just play around with the routes, hot route people, and also another thing you can do is checking the packages, because in this other package I was playing around with, empty tray I think it was, I was running this one route out of it. I was running Saints switch right here. You see right here you have the fade route, you have a wheel route with the tight end, and you have a post route with RB. So I'm going to go ahead and click that play, and we're going to go ahead and go to 2-man under. You see Des Bryant on a fade route over there. that's going to be an unbumpable fade. So you can also look for that for inside pass lead, easy gain all day against man coverage. Also, again, Harris is on a post route across the middle. You might as well look at it as a slant, but it gets even more separation than the other route did. You see there, and Romo just making me look bad, man. But I was live in this earlier today, actually, and it's just really good play. Gets really good separation, and if you pass lead it right, you're good to go. And another thing I like to do is always have a drag or some sort across the field so I can hot route. As you see there, that hot route gets man, but Ogletree isn't the best catcher. But as you see, hot routing things and playmakering just opens up even more plays for you. So just play around with the teams, play around with the playbooks, and just do your research. It's worth the extra few days or hours that you put in the lab, and you'll start getting those W's. That's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know how I did. Like I said, it's my first episode.